Hello and welcome to the second installment of this match in StarCraft 2 Direct Strike. So we got Team Titans, but I mean they're a Titans clan, but it's last but not least, that's what the name is. Versus Boules Club, Kachar, Shashka, and Chat Champion. I didn't do much about talking about these players. They're pretty well known in the Direct Strike community. Kachar is a very solid player. He focuses on like build orders and just like decision making skills. He's like really good at decision making skills. Shashka is a very like micro oriented player. He'll just like micro anything. He'll throw as many micro units as possible at the enemy. And the Boules is also another pretty solid player. He does like a little bit of both. God damn the man. I don't really know much about him. He's more of like a wild card. Eskimo Joe is just like a long time player. He has like a lot of experience on his belt and whatnot. Experience doesn't mean everything, but he knows some tricks up his sleeve, basically is what I'm trying to say. Like knowing how mechanics work can definitely bend the game to your will. And then there's Drunk, who is also a long time player. Drunk is also like just a wild card, I would say. Like some games he'll just perform excellently, and then other games he'll just do like random ass builds that might not even work. I would say Eskimo Joe is the most solid of these three, but let's see how this pans out. Let me look at the bands real quick. The bands, well, the picks first off is just you got Kerrigan, Alarak, and then you got Raynor, Stepman, you got Vorazon, and then another Stepman. So we got Kerrigan, Stepman, Vora versus Alarak, Raynor, Step. The bans this game were Stukov and Horner. Team 1 banned Stukov. So this Kerrigan, Stepman, Vora team. Kerrigan's not that bad against Stukov. A lot of people think that she is, but she really isn't. But Stepman and Vora can suffer from a lot of Stukov's problems, but that's also why you run a Stepman Vora comp, right? Because you want to leak that Super Gary into Vora's wave, and then AoE down any units that Vora even like thinks is bad for her wave. This is the whole reason why you run this comp, why they're pretty good together. Not only that, Vora can black hole Stepman's wave, and Stepman has a lot of options to just like kill the entire wave because of it, because they have lurkers, Banes, Gary Orbs, Mecha Corruptors. They all do AoE damage, so just black holing the Stepman wave is so powerful sometimes and just swings the game. Let's talk about this comp. So this comp banned Han and Horner, interestingly enough. I guess they were scared that Raynor might have got the Han Horner could have got picked into Rainer, or Han Horner could have got picked into Stetman. Shashka does play Han Horner quite a bit, and he's fighting against that Rainer. So like if they ever picked a Han Horner into that Rainer, it could have been bad. So if you guys don't know, Han Horner can go strike fighters, build on one side, and get like a few race, and just kill all the Marines. So it forces Rainer into doing a Marine Viking build, and then basically just Han Horner builds a bunch of Vikings to kill the Vikings, and then gets SBCs later to tank the AoE. But yeah, like 2 strike fighters could just kill an entire Marine wave, which is crazy. I mean, I guess we can talk about the matchups real quick. Kerrigan versus Alarak. Kerrigan usually wins early game. You usually don't want to see 15 to 20 minutes on your screen, because that's when you usually get like outskilled by Ascendants and whatnot. Although the Alarak builds with Ascendants are kind of awkward, because like what units do you make with them? Like oftentimes Wrathwalkers don't work with Ascendants for some reason. I mean, you do get Slayers. Slayers are decent with Ascendants, but you can't overbuild Slayers because they get outskilled by Ultras. The Mothership gets split in half by Hydras. So like if Ultras are charging this Alarak kill right here, and then the Mothership is like right here too, the Mothership will go forward to go attack these Hydras, and the Ascendant AoE becomes kinda awkward because it's like the Hydras are sitting over here. So it's like shooting the orb over here reduces a lot of the AoE damage to the Hydras, which you really want to land. Meanwhile, the Ultras are just going ham on your Ascendants and your Alarak hero. Got Stetman versus Rainer. People say this is Rainer favored. I have not really witnessed that personally. I think Stetman could build like Lurkers and Hydras and just win. If the Stetman player macros correctly. Get Super Gary, Lurkers, and Hydras. I guess the main threat is that when the Stetman player like bunker busts or whatever and then starts pushing in, that the BCs will just like hop backwards and the Rainer player won't be able to do anything. Or sorry, the Stetman player won't be able to do anything because the Hydras would go forward and hit the Nexus AoE. So it stacks a bunch of BCs. I guess that's the real problem with that matchup. And then Step versus Vora. I mean, this matchup usually you want basically this matchup's decided by Hull and Hull alone. If the Step player is playing optimally and the Vora player is playing optimally, usually the Step player wins in the early game and mid game. But the whole waves just kind of turn everything on their side. So once the Step player starts feeling the teammate leaks and whatnot, it could get very awkward for him really fast, and he will just never recover. It's very like explosive. Like you either have the Stetman player hard winning or you have the Vora player hard winning. Because once that hole hits, The Void Rays just have free damage, so they just go ham on every single Hydra, Gary, everything. So you got like 15 Void Rays surviving. But if it's not like that, then you have Hydras. You can even put some that like don't have the empowered attack, so that they're not tripping over each other, just as a front line, and get the armor upgrades, and they'll shoot at the Void Rays and do enough damage and kill them all, and the Void Rays won't be doing much at all because the light tag and again the armor upgrades. Also, if you want to know what like you should get as a bonus for this matchup, I think speed and health regen are like the best here. You probably want to alter between both of them, because you want your Hydras to go forward faster so that you can kill the Void Rays. But you also want them to survive. So it's up to your discretion how you want to micro that, but I think speed and health regen are going to be the top players here. Maybe you want some early game energy. If they go stalker based build, you get lurkers and whatnot. If they go sense, you want to get infestors, sense or DTs. If they go a lot of sense, a lot of DTs, you don't get a lot of infestors. You only want to max out on like 2 or 3 infestors. But if they get a lot of sense or DTs, you want Banes. You want to start getting Banes, and just like line up your Lings over here, and then just have Banes in the back, and just like one shot all the bio units. From Vor's side, I think that the Scent DT build is pretty good. You can go a Void Ray majority build to capitalize on your black hole. I'm not sure if that's really a viable option. Maybe they think that like, oh, that's the only way they can win. Oh no, he's just in range. You see that? Oh god, that is so bad. He's just in range of the bunker, but just out of range of the towers themselves. That was a god level tunnel. He's going to his Void Rays first. I'm not a big fan. It's like, yeah, you want to deal with the Super Gary. Okay, I should say I like I like the Void Rays first, but I'm not a big fan of like majority Void Ray comps. You do want Void Rays at some point, but I do like the mass bio comp with Sense and DTs more. But that's my preference. A lot of people prefer to go like a little bit of bio and then go heavy on the Void Rays, and that's why because they want to capitalize on that black hole timing. But I'm trying to win like my own wave, so I think that the Scent DT comp is more so viable when you're trying to win without black hole. But you still get Void Rays, so there's that. I mean, we could always look at who he's leaking into. And Alarak, you know, Void Rays could be annoying for Alarak, but it could also just be nothing. It depends on what his build's gonna be. Well, he's gonna go into Kerrigan, so it's gonna be a sentence. Yeah, I mean, it could be annoying. We see the Stedman player had rushed Hydras. don't think that's a good play. Like maybe not these many hydras. You could have gone more things. That's what I'm pretty much going for. Probably went super Gary, to be honest. Even maybe because they lost bunker, that they felt like they couldn't go super Gary. There's a lot of early game pressure that they have to deal with before they go super Gary. But yeah, look at this. The enemy just got super Gary, and he's gonna just wipe out all those hydras. That's just rough. Super Gary is kind of risky versus Rainer though, because he's just gonna keep going those BCs, and eventually he's gonna one-shot it for yeah, he just needs one more BC and he just one-shots it. And he's just not even respecting the battle cruisers at all. He has one Hydra and one Lurker. And his main comp is just battle cruisers. This could be scary for the top team if they don't react to it. The standard opening shadow guards are very good versus hydras. I guess here it's good that he's going void rays because these BCs are leaking anyways. But I mean, he could have achieved a similar result with just like stalkers. So. Maybe he was afraid of leaking lurkers into this Kerrigan. And at that I say get good. No, I mean it's a very plausible fear. But they have no globals. Like they only have the Alarak Empower Me. To really like come back. I should stop saying globals for everything. I should say comeback mechanisms. They don't really have that many. They have Alarak Empower Me, and then they have maybe the Stepman getting a bunch of Mecha Ultra Fragments and just using them all on one wave. And then they have Rainer's Yamato, I guess, but it's kind of awkward to use here because the units are like all like one tile and they're kind of spread. That sucks that he has to use the Yamatos on the Kerrigan wave. But I mean, again, like the Shashka is not respecting these BCs, so I mean they're not gonna do anything versus these void rays yet, but in the future it could be problematic for the top team. Ooh, that was devastating. That was rough. The Kerrigan wave has 100 AoE, so doing that against all these battle cruisers, that's like 1/6 of their health. It's 100 AoE versus air, but 10 AoE versus ground, I believe. And they did the hole, but it wasn't like particularly a great hole. I guess it was more like a stabilized hole. But what if they stack an X-Wave? I like doing the holes near like mid or the bunker to like do my own counter stack. He's responding with ultras because he saw the ascendants and he was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna get outscaled today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. Shashka's going these ultras. Do we have Eskimo Joe doing the healing aura? Oh, that's drunk. My bad. No, he's doing energy. Yeah, energy is not really worth it. Like, his units aren't even surviving to use all of his energy. He should be doing health aura. Speed, probably not at this moment. You want to stack. You want your units to survive. Because you're playing off of the Rainer Battlecruiser stacks. So you need time for those Battlecruisers to melt the ultras and stuff. So I think health is just better. And it also is better when you're stacking behind Nexus. Is this a +3 armor? Yeah, it's +3 armor. Yeah, the Hydras are struggling. And now he's gonna... Oh, he could have blinked on the Hydras. He could have blinked on the Hydras, killed them all. I guess he's going for the stacks more. But you really want to close the gaps with these Hydras sometimes. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to protect the Super Gray, because that's the main damage dealer versus this wave. But he barely won. That was like 5 BCs. And he had to use both of his orbs. That's insane. Yeah, Kachar's just making it super awkward for these Ascendants. He's like, well, we can't really build versus Ascendants and versus Battlecruisers, so what we're going to do is we're going to run under and kill the base. And then hope that Stepman can deal with these Battlecruisers. And Stepman is starting to deal with them. He's, in fact, absolutely just demolishing them. And this is why I was like saying, like, Rainer's not always a counter to Stepman. Stepman has a lot of damage behind him. If anything, like, and I might be downplaying Stepman here. I usually think that Stepman's more favored against Rainer. But if anything, it's a 50-50. Like, at the very least. I think people just don't realize that the Hydras just do so much there. That's good blinks. He's trying to save the Nexus by killing the Ultras first. BCs have a weird weapon, so they won't attack the units that are like that can't attack him. It'll just attack whatever's closest. Their weapon is more acting like a spell than anything else, really. If he had this health regen, he could actually possibly win this. He has no armor upgrades. Bro, what are you doing? You're versus +3 Void Rays and you have no armor upgrades on your Hydras. They're just getting slaughtered. This is why they're not winning. Like, guys, don't forget your armor upgrades. Seriously. You'd be surprised how effective they are. Um, I know Dima's strategy is to not buy any armor upgrades because he wants his units to die faster. But that doesn't work when you're against things like Void Rays, Carriers, Warhounds, Adepts, like, you name it. Hydras. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it can work when you're pushing in, but that's like, if your game plan is to push in, then sure, maybe you want to go full offense, you want your units to die faster so that the stack units don't stack. But if you're the stack units themselves, like, obviously you want armor upgrades. Maybe even pushing in you want armor upgrades, because like, what if you're versus carriers? That's a stack unit. I don't know. You might let the carrier stack. I mean, even the Kachar could get armor upgrades if he really wants versus the battlecruisers. Battlecruisers have a high speed of attack. It would help his Taurus survive longer too. And armor upgrades applies for all of his ground units, so it's not like he has to get like armor ranged upgrades or whatever. This is a +3 battlecruiser, so they're just like melting all these units that have no armor upgrades. As we can see, they're not really messing around either. They're just one gas. Like, they're giving maximum respect to the opponent. They're like, hey, we know you guys can have a chance of stacking. We're just gonna deny all possibilities of that. Yeah, this is just over. That's a big stack coming your way versus only BCs. He has to blink forward, and oh yeah, that's way over. GG's. Yeah, not really much to say here. As I said, like, you would think that Wrathwalkers do a lot of damage versus these Taurusks, and maybe there's just too many Taurusks or whatever in this case. But even in the case where like there's like equal amount of Wrathwalkers to Taurusks, I sometimes find that these Wrathwalkers don't even do enough. And I don't understand why sometimes. Even when you have Ascendants that are blowing up all these chaff units, they just sometimes don't deal with the micro Taurusks. They just go into the backline, kill everything. Maybe it's just too much health. Like, it takes 5 shots to kill him. But you also have the egg, which gives him another health bar. Well, it takes like more than 5 because you have armor, but it would take 5 if they had weapons upgrades. Yeah, I don't know. This is another case of make sure you're buying your armor upgrades, guys. Like, top team didn't need to, because it's whatever. Conceptually, maybe they wanted to die faster, whatever, so that they don't stack. Whatever, it happens. But bottom team, like, you really want those armor upgrades on Hydras. Maybe not the Alarak here or the Rainer, but I mean Rainer already had armor upgrades, but yeah. GG's.